Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of one of the most revered and contested cities in human history, Jerusalem, the sacred city of three great religions. As we delve into the origins of this venerable metropolis, let us first set the stage for our narrative, tracing the earliest whispers of a city that would become a beacon of faith, culture, and conflict. In the distant past, around 4500 BCE, the area now occupied by Jerusalem was a mere hamlet, nestled in the fertile hills of the Judean mountains. The Canaanites, a Semitic people with a rich cultural heritage, were among the first to inhabit this region, leaving behind a legacy of pottery, bronze tools, and fortifications that would shape the city's early development. As we explore the ancient landscape, we find ourselves in the valley of the Kidron Brook, where the earliest settlers established their homes, tilling the soil and cultivating the land. As the centuries passed, around 2000 BCE, Jerusalem began to take on a more defined form with the arrival of the Jebusites, a tribe of Canaanite origin. These skilled craftsmen and traders built fortifications, temples, and palaces, forging a city that would become a hub of commerce and learning. The biblical account of King David's conquest of the city around 1000 BCE marks a pivotal moment in Jerusalem's development, as it became the capital of the Israelite kingdom and the site of the sacred Temple Mount. The Israelites, under the leadership of King Solomon, would go on to build the first temple, a magnificent structure that housed the Ark of the Covenant and solidified Jerusalem's status as a center of worship. The discovery of the stepstone structure, a monumental architectural complex dating back to the 10th century BCE, provides tangible evidence of David's ambitions to establish a powerful and centralized state. As we navigate the complexities of Jerusalem's early history, we encounter a diverse array of cultures and empires, each leaving their mark on the city. The Egyptians, under the rule of pharaohs such as Thutmose III and Ramses II, exerted control over Jerusalem around 1400 BCE, introducing their own brand of architecture, art, and administration. The Assyrians, with their ruthless military campaigns and administrative prowess, would later shape the city's development, as evidenced by the Taylor Prism, which chronicles the conquests of Sennacherib in 701 BCE. The convergence of these cultures, coupled with the natural advantages of Jerusalem's location, created a unique blend of spiritual, cultural, and economic forces that would propel the city to prominence. As we prepare to embark on the next stage of our journey, we shall witness the rise of a kingdom, the construction of magnificent temples, and the evolution of a sacred landscape that would captivate the hearts and imaginations of people from across the ancient world. And so, dear listeners, we find ourselves poised on the threshold of a new era in Jerusalem's history, one marked by the interplay of spiritual and temporal powers, and the gradual unfolding of a narrative that would come to define the city's very essence. Join me, if you will, as we step into the radiant light of Jerusalem's formative years and discover the pivotal events that would forever alter the course of this eternal city's destiny. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of Jerusalem, the sacred city of three great religions. As we left off in our previous exploration, we found ourselves poised on the threshold of a new era in Jerusalem's history, one marked by the interplay of spiritual and temporal powers. Today, we shall witness the rise of a kingdom that would propel Jerusalem to unprecedented heights, as we delve into the golden age of the Israelite monarchy. During this period, around 1000 BCE Torin, King David's conquest of the city marked a pivotal moment in Jerusalem's development, as it became the capital of the Israelite kingdom and the site of the sacred Temple Mount. The construction of the first temple, a magnificent structure that housed the Ark of the Covenant, solidified Jerusalem's status as a center of worship and learning. As the biblical account notes, And David dwelt in the stronghold, and called it the City of David, highlighting the king's desire to establish a powerful and centralized state. Under the wise and just rule of King Solomon, who succeeded David around 970 BCE, Jerusalem flourished as a hub of commerce, culture, and spirituality. The kingdom's extensive trade networks, stretching from Egypt to Mesopotamia, brought exotic goods, ideas, and technologies to the city, fostering an era of unprecedented prosperity. As the Israelite kingdom expanded, Solomon established a complex system of administration, with governors, priests, and officials responsible for maintaining order and collecting taxes. One of the most remarkable achievements of this period was the construction of the Temple Mount, a sprawling complex that housed not only the first temple, but also numerous other buildings, including palaces, courtyards, and storerooms. The biblical account describes the temple's opulent decorations, including gold, silver, and precious stones, which sparkled in the sunlight, creating an awe-inspiring spectacle. As the prophet Isaiah would later write, "For the glory of the Lord has risen upon you," highlighting the city's newfound status as a beacon of divine presence. Jerusalem's cultural landscape during this period was equally impressive, with scholars, poets, and musicians contributing to a rich tapestry of artistic expression. The development of the Hebrew alphabet, which allowed for the widespread dissemination of written texts, facilitated the creation of a vibrant literary tradition. As we explore the ancient city, we find evidence of a thriving intellectual scene, where scribes, priests, and wise men engaged in lively debates about theology, philosophy, and politics. As we marvel at the achievements of this golden age, it is essential to remember that Jerusalem's prosperity was not without its challenges. The kingdom faced numerous threats from neighboring powers, including the Egyptians, Assyrians, and Philistines, which required the Israelites to maintain a strong military presence. Despite these challenges, the city remained a beacon of hope and inspiration, attracting pilgrims and scholars from across the ancient world. As we reflect on this remarkable period in Jerusalem's history, we are reminded that the city's enduring legacy is rooted in its unique blend of spiritual, cultural, and economic forces. As the psalmist writes, "If I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand wither," highlighting the deep emotional connection between the city and its people. And so, dear listeners, as we conclude our exploration of Jerusalem's golden age, we find ourselves poised on the threshold of a new era, one marked by decline, conquest, and transformation. Join me, if you will, as we step into the shadows of history and discover the complex, often tumultuous events that would forever alter the course of this eternal city's destiny. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of Jerusalem, the sacred city of three great religions. As we left off in our previous exploration, we found ourselves poised on the threshold of a new era, one marked by decline, conquest, and transformation. Today we shall delve into the complex and often tumultuous events that would forever alter the course of this eternal city's destiny. The decline of the Israelite monarchy began around 930 BCE, with the division of the kingdom into two separate entities, the Kingdom of Judah in the south and the Kingdom of Israel in the north. This split led to a period of instability, as both kingdoms struggled for power and influence. The Kingdom of Israel, in particular, faced numerous challenges, including the threat of Assyrian conquest. In 722 BCE, the Assyrians, under the rule of King Shalmaneser V, conquered the Kingdom of Israel, leading to the deportation of many of its inhabitants. This event marked a significant turning point in Jerusalem's history, as the city became increasingly vulnerable to external threats. The Kingdom of Judah, however, managed to maintain its independence for another century and a half, thanks in part to the wise leadership of King Hezekiah. Despite the challenges it faced, Jerusalem continued to be an important center of worship and learning during this period. The construction of the Second Temple, which began around 538 BCE, after the Babylonian exile, marked a significant milestone in the city's history. The temple's design and architecture reflected the cultural exchange between the Israelites and their Persian conquerors, with influences from both traditions evident in its layout and decorations. The period of Persian rule, which lasted from 539 to 332 BCE, was marked by relative stability and prosperity for Jerusalem. The Persians allowed the Jews to return to their homeland and rebuild their temple, leading to a resurgence of Jewish culture and identity. However, this period also saw the rise of tensions between the Jewish community and the surrounding nations, including the Samaritans and the Greeks. The Conquest of Jerusalem by Alexander the Great in 332 BCE marked the beginning of a new era for the city. The Macedonian king's tolerance for local customs and traditions allowed the Jewish community to maintain its autonomy, but his successors, the Ptolemies and the Seleucids, would eventually impose their own brand of Hellenism on the city. The Maccabean Revolt, which took place from 167 to 160 BCE, was a pivotal moment in Jerusalem's history. The revolt, led by Mattathias and his sons, was a response to the imposition of Greek culture and religion on the Jewish community. The eventual victory of the Maccabees and the rededication of the temple marked a significant turning point in the city's history, as it reasserted its Jewish identity and paved the way for the rise of the Hasmonean dynasty. As we reflect on this complex and often tumultuous period in Jerusalem's history, we are reminded that the city's enduring legacy is rooted in its unique blend of spiritual, cultural, and economic forces. The interplay between internal and external factors, including conquest, migration, and cultural exchange, has shaped the city into what it is today. And so, dear listeners, as we conclude our exploration of Jerusalem's decline and transformation, we find ourselves poised on the threshold of a new era, one marked by Roman rule, Christian influence, and Islamic conquest. Join me, if you will, as we step into the next chapter of this eternal city's destiny and discover how these events would forever alter the course of its history. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.